What we have here, folks, is a failure to communicate. I'm talking about Merrick Bank. Yeah, they can call you for late payments and all that. And what they do is they're calling and they're ringing your phone. And it comes up on the caller ID, Merrick Bank, and a different number all the time. And they don't leave a message. And you pick it up, nobody's there. And I'm getting sick and tired of this bank, because I know a lot of people have them, and they probably don't have a problem. Good for you. I'm glad, but I had a problem. Couldn't pay for whatever reason. And when I finally, got a hold of my lawyer, he talked to them, and the call stopped. Now, that was like, well, I guess about a month and a half ago. And now the call started up again. But we're calling on my cell phone and landline, but this time, just the landline. So what I would do if I was you was to be careful with them, because they are violating laws. If they're harassing, if they're calling you, like they're calling me 4 times a day, and I've been keeping a phone log, so make sure you do that. You put the date, the time, I put the day, and the phone number they used to call you. Keep track of it. If you have more than one bank calling you, I would separate. Have different sheets, because that's the way you'll be able to keep track of it. You also could do like I've been doing, not to get too far behind on it. I've been going into the computer and going to Gmail, and do a Gmail, and make it like a phone log. And then what you do is you hit draft, make it into a draft, and every time want to add some calls, do it that way. You already have it done. So if you get a lawyer and you need to send it to him, well, there you go. You already have your phone log. Now, if you look up Merrick Bank online, you're going to find out a whole bunch of stuff. There's a whole bunch of screens and all. Plus, you'll see all those different blocks. And you'll see lawyers have ads. And I would read those ads, and you'll see. There's one lawyer, I think he said he's had 5,000 cases with Merrick Bank. But that's over a period of time. And he said he can stop the calls and get you money besides, and he gets paid. But it depends on the type of call. I mean, they're violating the law, because they're not allowed to call you before 8 a.m. or after 9 p.m. So they don't do that. If they would ever do that, you really got a case. But keep track of the calls. I'm doing this because I'm sick and tired of them, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Merrick Bank, I don't think they got some kind of power over us. We're a consumer, and they're a business, Okay, they want to collect their money. Oh, well and good. But if you can't pay for whatever reason, there could be 10 people with 10 reasons. What I would do is I would try to, well, I wouldn't call them. That's what they're trying to do. They put their name on the caller ID because they're supposed to. They're not doing a violation. They're getting around it. But it's a robocall. And they don't want to leave a message, and yet if you call back any number they put there, you get another recording, and it says your call is important to us, so wait for the next representative. And the representative comes on, and what do? Merrick Bank, how can I help you? Give me your account number. And that's when I hang up, because I know that what it's going to say, That representative don't know anything about you. She'll just look it up, your account is flagged, and start telling you a whole bunch of stuff. It's all in there, and all they do is just read it and say, think you can pay? We could take the late fee. They're going to give you some kind of spiel to try to, they say about the call, and if you would say, what about the calls? Oh, no, we'll stop the calls. That's no problem. You start paying, make arrangements and all, and we can freeze your account. There will be no more finance charges. We'll take off the late fee, and you start paying. That's all right, but if I can't pay, and I know I can't pay, I'm not going to start the clock running again. This is a statute of limitations. In Pennsylvania, I know it's 4 years. But that doesn't mean from the time you open the account, it's from your last payment. So if you haven't been paying on the account, you don't want to start again. Because from your last payment, say 4 years here, that account's legally forgiven. That means nobody can collect it. It's time barred. So in no sense, to make arrangements if you can't pay it. You could send a cease and desist letter to Merrick Bank, but I don't think they have to abide by it. I think that they have to, because you owe them. Now, if they send it to collection and you send it to a debt collector, the cease and desist letter, they have to stop calling you. So what you do is on the cease and desist letter, you just make sure you have the information on the top there, your account number and all that, name, and then you just put to whom it may concern. You can handwrite it. Cease and desist all communication with me upon receipt of this letter. Now you make a copy for yourself, take it to the post office and do it certified mail return receipt. You have to do that to make it binding. If you do that, now they can't call you anymore. It doesn't mean you don't know the debt. You still owe it. They just can't keep them calling like that. So if you don't know all this, I'm telling you so it can help you. That's what I'm trying to do here. But Merrick Bank is the one I'm really against now. Because I have a lawyer. And he's taken care of a few banks for me. And as soon as he gets it, they stop calling. Now, he did the same thing with them. But the problem is they waited, a couple months now, and they start calling again. The only difference now, they're not calling on the cell phone. I guess because they know that that's a violation on the cell phone with those robocalls. And you can get them for that. So I don't know what happened here. He's still working on it. Maybe another case. So in the meantime, they're trying to harass me a little bit. Maybe figuring they'll beat me down. Well, they're not going to beat me down. I'll beat them down. Because I know what they're doing. They're harassing. When you do the phone log, you'll see that. The way the calls are. I get 3 in one day, 4 in one day. But it's not like, morning, noon, and night too. But a lot of times, you won't get no calls. It'll be quiet like it is like now and here where I'm at. No phone calls. And all of a sudden, say 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Then 4:30, maybe 5:15, 6:45, something like that. Now look at that. That's not harassment. What are they calling you for anyway? It's for the money. So they think if they keep calling you, you're going to get tired of it? Well, look, they can't beat me down. I'll beat them down. They want to call me like they do and keep calling me and other people. Want to know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this tweet on about Merrick Bank. I might put it every day. But I'll make sure I let you all know that I already tweeted it. So that you won't look at it. You don't have to view it because you already saw it. I figure by doing it every day for a little while, I'll get to more people. The other way, like when you first put it on, and you pretty much know that. Most people know when you put a tweet on, it gets views right away because it's new. But as so many come on, it becomes old right away. But if I do it every day, I would like to see if I get more views that way. Because then I know the more people that view it, but mostly I'm only going to put down it's for Merrick Bank customers. I'm going to concentrate on that. Because if you're not having a problem with Merrick Bank, that's good, That's good because good for you. I'm glad for you. The only problem you mostly have with it is because of those calls. When you become late. They charge $40 now. $40 late fee. Usually they all do. Once one starts it, they all do. And they tell you got to have the payment in by the due date. Okay. That's good for them, right? Because then if you were 1 day late and say it was the 15th and you got the 16th, now you've still paid your minimum payment and now you paid the late fee, $40. You get your bill and the closing date might have been the 20th. You got it in before that, but they don't count that. Which was before, I think years ago it was. As long as you got your payment in before the closing date, before the bill went out, you didn't get a late fee. Now this is all about this late fees, And Merrick Bank is one of them. So you're going to have to make sure you check all your statements. But I'm mostly trying to get the customers that have Merrick Bank. I'm trying to warn you, but if you are having a problem with them, you're going to have it with the calls. And they start calling, they just it's old, They do it because they don't have to hire a lot of people and make the calls because they must have a lot of accounts. They got millions of customers. So they must have every day, they must have sheets full. In different locations, they probably have it, breaking down the customers by, sections of the country. They can't handle all those one couldn't handle all the accounts. So it depends on what section you're in, but what they do is they print out these sheets, and you're on the late sheet, and then the computer dials the numbers. And you know yourself, the computer can just keep dialing numbers all day. A person couldn't physically do that. So they have it set up that way. So now they don't count. If I owe $1,000 and someone owed $2,000, they'll probably call us the same. I don't think they have it like that. It might be too involved for them. I don't know. But this calling system that they have has been like that for a long time. I know that. I remember they were doing this. But each bank has its own little technique that they use, a little bit different, how they do those calls. I know that they can call. One bank I had call me 8 times a day. But they didn't do it. No person did it. It's on the computer that's set up that way. And it's just, I guess it's random in a sense, but it doesn't look like it to me. It looks like they have settings. If they want to call you to really bother you, they'll call it close together. But I noticed the calls I've been getting from them, it's more in the afternoon and maybe evening, not so much in the morning. Because that's the worst. If they could call you at 8:01 a.m. and they're all right. 8:01 a.m. is still legal. But before 8 o'clock, but what difference is it? They called you at 8:01. They could call you at 7:59. But they'll do that. It depends how they have it, the way they want to do it. Like at night, 8:59, you get a call. Well, don't think they're trying to bother you? Sure they are. That tells you. But just the fact that the way I look at it, if they're putting their name on the caller ID, they're letting you know Merrick Bank, and they put a different phone number. Now you know it's Merrick Bank. They want you to know it's Merrick Bank because they're not leaving a message, and they're not there when you pick it up. They want you to call them back. Because if they call you enough, you probably will call them back to try to stop the calls. It's not going to work because I know better, and I know I can't pay, and I'm not making no deal with them. If they even wanted to pay me, I won't stop this. I won't stop these tweets. Once I start it, I'm not going to stop it. Why? Because if they can call me or you or anybody every day and 3-4 times a day, I guess I can I can badmouth them every day on social media and see how they like. It's going to be the same thing like what I'm saying now. I'm not going to have a different one every day. What I put now is what's going to be every day. And maybe somebody out there that worked for Merrick Bank will probably get it and goes to this guy he's bad-mouthing us on social media. Well, there's nothing they can do about it. If they can violate the laws and they can harass you, I can bad-mouth them on social media. Maybe it won't bother them. I'm not really trying to hurt them. What I'm trying to do is make the consumer aware of it, of what they're doing. You are being harassed. If you don't know what to do, you know what you can do? I have a lawyer, and I got him through the internet. All you have to do is look up Merrick Bank, and you're going to have all stuff about Merrick Bank. The Better Business Bureau. You're going to have these lawyers are going to have an ad. I know there's one on there. He says he has a lot of stuff about calls. People that have been harassed. He also said he's already had 5,000 cases with Merrick Bank. But that's over a few years. Because they've been in business over 20 years. I know that. So what you do is if you want to try him, say you are getting the calls. Well, there's a little block there. You fill in your comments, and he'll contact you. Your information and all. So I won't give you the lawyer I have because since I'm doing this bad mouthing, I don't want to get him involved with it. Right now. But I know because I had a lawyer and he took care of this particular case. He's still working on it for me. I even told him I'm not looking for money. I want the calls to stop. And even if the calls stop, I may not stop. Because once I do this like I'm doing now, I can just keep posting it every day. And I want to see if, how much views that I really do get. But I'm going to make sure I put a disclaimer there that if you would see it now and I put it the next day, you don't need to view it. You can skip it, That way I'm going to try to get, now I know it's different people every day as it comes on. So I'm trying to help people. I'm also trying to, I don't say get even with Merrick Bank because I'm really upset with Merrick Bank because they didn't need to call me like that and then stop and then start up again. Did I pay him? No, I can't. They could call me 100 times a day and I can't pay them. So they're just wasting their time trying to do it with me. But there's different ways they could do that. If they were to hire me to do it, I can guarantee you, with my experience and all, and being a consumer, I know how I want to be treated. They're not doing that. Because they have so many, I guess they got so many bad debts there that they're trying to collect it. Because anyway, they're adding, what they're doing while they're calling you, as the time passes, they're adding late fees on. So that you're owing more money. So when the time comes, if they decide to, when they write it off, like, when they do their taxes, I guess it's a bad debt. They take it from their income. So they must have a lot of them. And that reduces their income, so they pay less taxes. What else they do? They sell these debts in bundles to, I guess, scavenger debt collectors. And they're trying to collect them. They get it for pennies on the dollar, but they get more money from the debts that way too. They have so many, they have money to get rid of them. So if a debt collector calls you, they try to do that now. They try to make sure once they get these bundles, they start calling people. And if they get an answer, they know that then they can start. But I think they're really supposed to send you a disclosure letter first. So this attempt to collect a debt, and that's what the information will be used for. And if you can dispute it in 30 days, they can't do nothing. But they're not. I don't think they've been doing that lately. So if you do get a call from a debt collector, you can tell him you want a disclosure letter. And if they don't send it, they might not send it. So that means that's going to stop that right there. So I'm just going over all these things because I think that I need to refresh people with this stuff. This has been going on a long time. And I know within the sound of my voice, I can guarantee you that people have Merrick Bank. And there's been a lot of people that have been having problems with Merrick Bank, but they don't really know what to do, So I'm just saying, I'm not going to give you my lure. I gave it before, but he's busy right now too. He's on enough accounts, but I'll repeat it again. Go in the internet and just punch in Merrick Bank, MERRICK Bank, and you could put in complaints, or something like that about Merrick Bank. But it's going to have a lot of boxes there, and it might have more results, and you can, scan it up. But I would look for, you're going to see the Better Business Bureau, I think, is in there too, about the complaints. They got a lot of complaints. And that's what I would do. And I hope good luck with everything. And I'll give you my email now, in case you want to ask me anything about it. Okay, it's frankleeper46@gmail.com. That way you could just email if you have anything you want to ask me or questions about it. I'll tell you, This way, I'm think that I'm helping people do this. Because I've been doing this debt collection thing already. But this Merrick Bank is just getting me and rubbed me the wrong way. That doesn't bother me. They can't harass me because they are harassing me, but I know it. And if you know it, it's not the same. I look at those calls and I write them down. And I look at the times and all, and I say, look at this pattern. I know it's nobody. They don't do it that way. They may have a way that when they set it up, how many calls they want per customer. Maybe there's 4 or 5, but they need to have a new system. And I know a new system that they could do. They could stop those calls completely. They need to hire people, a special division, and have these people divided up for so they can make the calls. But don't keep calling the person. Talk to the person and tell them, look, I want to help you. You're not going to be keeping calling all day long and all. And you can just deal with me. And I can guarantee you, I could make the people pay. They'll want to pay. They'll be thanking me. Because I'll give them an option and I'll tell them, if you don't want to and you can't, we understand. But we'd like to work with you. You make them feel important. You're trying to collect money from somebody. Why would you keep calling them and harassing them? It doesn't make sense to me. But they get away with it. So that's the reason why they keep doing it. Their statistics probably shows doing that, they collect a lot. So for what they have to pay is the cost of doing business. Like if my lawyer sues them and I end up getting $500 and the lawyer gets $2,000, well, they had to put out money and wipe the debt off and stop calling. But that's only a few compared to how many they have. But by me doing this, well, they're not going to like it. And I don't like being harassed, okay? So, anybody out there that has Merrick Bank, I wish you the best with it. And as long as you keep paying on time and pay all their fees and everything, you won't have no problem. But if it was me and I would transfer it. I would transfer it to another account. If you don't owe too much, if you could pay it off, you'd be better off. Get another card. Get one of those debit cards, That way it's your own money you're using, I hope this was helpful, and have a great day.